Hi, this is Gabrielle Laporto, and I'm going to be doing a reflective rhetorical analysis on the article Why I Keep Teaching by Rachel Jorgensen.
5 rhetorical strategies that Rachel uses in the article are credibility, which is also known as ethos. She appeals to emotion, which is also known as pathos. She acknowledges what she gets in return from her profession. She also juxtaposes the good and the bad side of teaching and uses inclusive language like our and we. So the first 3 strategies that Rachel uses in the article are credibility, appealing to emotion, and acknowledging what she gets in return from teaching. So an example of her credibility, which is also known as ethos, is I've been in the classroom for nearly 2 decades. That's a quote. And this shows that since she's been in the classroom for almost 20 years, her authority to be able to talk about the topic, and it helps the reader trust her and understand that she's a reliable source. She appeals to emotion using pathos. I'm constantly inspired by their, meaning her students, resilience and learn from their strength. And also, every time I intervene with a struggling student, I hope it will change the trajectory of their path. So this can really appeal to the audience, the main audience of struggling teachers, that what they're doing has a big impact and they can see the results. She also acknowledges what she gets in return, so more building on the benefits of being a teacher, even if they're small or just internal. No matter how much I've invested in teacher education courses, no class can compare to the education I've received from my students. This just shows that not only does what she do help the students, but they also help her in return. So 2 more rhetorical strategies that Rachel uses are she juxtaposes the good and the bad, and she uses inclusive language. So when she acknowledges the bad side of the profession, it makes her seem more reliable and honest, and that she realizes that there are negatives to being a teacher, but she realizes and she believes that the good prevails the bad, as I said down here, which is the purpose of the article. Systemic problems that teachers face include a lack of support, insufficient compensation, and mounting pressure to deliver what sometimes feels like unrealistic results. That's a quote from Rachel, which is acknowledging the bad side of the profession, but as I've explained before, she goes on to list many other reasons why she believes that becoming a teacher is positive. She also uses inclusive language. Our work matters. The skills and abilities we possess as teachers definitely lend themselves to success in other industries. Using this inclusive language makes the reader feel more like the article is geared toward them and feels more connection to Rachel. Another important thing to understand about the Jorgensen article is the audience. So I think that the primary audience is current teachers who are feeling drained. So in the article, she acknowledges that she has been seeing a decline in teaching and also an increase in teachers leaving the profession. And I think all of this, she wants to use her credibility and all these rhetorical strategies to help people realize that the good outweighs the bad in teaching and that they should stay in the profession and that we need teachers. Another potential audience would be future teachers or people that are studying to become teachers, because I think that they realize maybe people are telling them negatives about teaching, but somebody that has been in it for so long, a teacher for almost 20 years, is telling them about how much good they can do, and that's who she wants to appeal to. So some more research that I've done on the topic, similar to our footnotes exercise, is doing further research on the negatives of being a teacher and also what teachers are feeling. So this is a quote from teachersoftomorrow.org that they got from salary.com. The average public school teacher in this state, South Carolina, is $54,287. And I found that the family living wage for about 4 people is about $75,964 at a low end. So obviously if you're a single parent or in some sort of single situation, $54,287 is far less than $75,000. So that is the compensation that Rachel was talking about. Although it does have a big range. The lowest 10% of teachers make about $42,000 a year in South Carolina, and the highest make about above $70,000. So another thing I found is a chart about the satisfaction of teachers with their profession. So this is a quote from pewresearch.org. Teachers are highly satisfied with their relationships with other teachers, but relatively few are satisfied with their pay. So I'll insert a picture of the chart, but 71% of teachers are extremely satisfied with their relationships, while only 15% are extremely satisfied with their pay. So that's another example of just the good and the bad and the scale of being a teacher that Rachel talks about.
So I think we've all had that teacher that has had such a great impact on us and that we'll remember forever. So I'm going to talk about my AP US history teacher, Miss Perner, who has had such a great impact on me and I think really reflects what Rachel's trying to get across in her article about the impact that teachers can have on their students. As I am a history major today, I owe a great deal of that to Miss P. Having her for 2 years made me a far better student and a far better person. She had such a great impact on me. She always emphasized the importance of being a virtuous citizen and exercising your right to vote. And she also made me a better student by giving us a lot of work, but it felt so good when we were able to pass the exam at the end of the year. One of my favorite memories of her class was at the end of sophomore year. She gave us 100 questions to memorize for a 40-question test, and I got 39 of them, and it just felt so good, and I felt so accomplished, and she gave me the biggest hug after, and I can't help but owe a lot of my success in school and the fact that I'm here at Clemson to her. I owe a lot of that to the work ethic that she taught me, and I also have a clip of me in my high school's Miss Pinelands competition talking about Miss Perner that I'm gonna put right here.
Gabby, if you had to thank a teacher, who would it be and why?
Incredible question. Thank you. If I had to thank a teacher right now, it would be 100% my AP US history teacher, Miss Perner, because I had no idea what I wanted to do my whole entire high school career, up until A push, and now I'm majoring in history and I want to become a lawyer, and it's all thanks to Miss Perner.
That's all I have today. I thought that was a great article, and thank you for your time.